Welcome to another episode of the Rare Beer Club. I'm your host, the Ginger Yeti. And if you're new to the channel, the Rare Beer Club is a subscription club put out by the beerofthemonthclub.com. I receive a box every month that contains 2 hand-selected beers. It costs about $60 a month. And I box one and review it blindly. Or I picked one of the beers out of the box, review blindly, and then I review the second beer at a later time. So if you didn't see my unboxing and that crazy coffee stout, this is the second beer from that box. And this box was from June of 2025. It is now 2026 when I'm recording this. I'm about a year behind on these. I've got a big pile of them in my basement I gotta get through. So the other beer that was in this box is this big bad boy right here. And this is the Rodenbach Tripel from Brouwerij Rodenbach out of West Flanders, Belgium. And they always come with this paperwork here. Before I look at the paperwork, we'll take a look at the bottle here. It's this big bomber bottle. I don't see a lot of bombers anymore. The Rare Beer Club has started putting cans in there because not very many breweries do bomber bottles anymore. So this is a Red Tripel. It's a Red Tripel Ale. It's 8.2% ABV. This big bottle right here. On the back, it says in super tiny writing, I may not be able to read, Rodenbach Triple Sour is our 200th year anniversary beer. 200th year. Almost as old as the United States. Created by blending a Belgian Tripel with a Flemish Red-Brown Ale that is matured for 2 years in a 4,000 gallon, 180, I guess that says hectoliter oak cask. It's just, yeah, I think it says hectoliter. I think that's what HL is. The slightly sour, fresh taste, typical of Rodenbach, creates a refreshingly complex and easy drinkable triple. The malty, fruity, and wood-aged character of the beer comes to life in your glass, a true indulgence for all your senses. Rudy something, I can't say his last name, Brewmaster. Like I said, it's 8.2%. Brewed and bottled by Brouwerij Rodenbach in Belgium. That's everything to speak of on the bottle. Like I said, there's this paperwork here. It comes with it. I'm going to read a little bit of it. I won't read all of it. And I'll post this paperwork somewhere in a picture somewhere. It'll be linked in the description. That way, if you want to read the whole thing, you can. So let's get into it. I'm sure everybody loves hearing me read. Like I said, this is a Belgian Tripel blended with 2-year aged Flemish Red-Brown Ale. So this is perhaps no more famous. This is perhaps no more famous brewery in all Belgium than Brouwerij Rodenbach. While the country has a long history of brewing both tart and downright sour beers using wild yeast and bacteria, it was Rodenbach in the late 19th century that helped pioneer and define the specific style of beer we know as Flanders Flemish Red Ale, considered by many to be the most vinous or wine-like of all beer styles. The standard Rodenbach is a blend of approximately 75% fresh and 25% 2-year aged ale, while Rodenbach Grand Cru incorporates much more aged beer, approximately 66%. Rodenbach's Red Tripel, an unusual triple Flanders Red hybrid, first introduced to celebrate the brewery's 20th anniversary in 2021, which is this beer right here. The brewery bears the name of the Rodenbach family, who not only contributed their unique beer to the world, but also helped contribute Belgium to the world, at least as an independent country. The brewery was founded in 1821 by Rodenbach brothers, Pedro Alexander Ferdinand, and I guess that says Constantine. All 4 played critical roles in the Belgian Revolution of 1830, which led to the secession of Belgium from the United Kingdom of the Netherlands. In fact, when Leopold I greeted the crowd from the balcony of the House of the Nation after being crowned king, Alexander, who ran the brewery from 1821 to 1836 and happened to be blind, appeared at his side. In 1878, Pedro's grandson, Eugene, became manager of the family brewery. From a brewing perspective, as opposed to a political one, Eugene is certainly the most influential Rodenbach in the family line. During his travels to southern England, he was exposed to and learned much about the early porter beers popular in London at the time. In the 19th century, these early porters were typically aged for at least several months in giant barrels where they matured and acidified. Eugene took what he learned and applied it at home in Belgium, developing and refining the technique and creating the style of Rodenbach beer we know today. Sadly, Eugene died in 1889 at the age of just 39. Wow, that's a really young age to die. That's a shame. So Rodenbach's red ales undergo a primary and secondary fermentation with both yeast and lactobacillus bacteria, creating a beer with a distinctively acidic, sour quality. However, when the beers enter the maturation stage, that the fun really begins. I am terrible at reading. I'm sure you all hate hearing me read too. Probably bored everybody to death by now with all this history. The beer is aged, typically for 2 years, in 294 huge oak barrels known as foders, a Dutch term pronounced like foder, some of which are older than 150 years and which range in size between 3,100 and 17,000 gallons. Of these impressive foders, Beer Club founder and arguably most prominent beer writer and historian in the world, Michael Jackson, I can always forget that Michael Jackson founded the Rare Beer Club, wrote, Rodenbach in Rosselaar has 10 or 11 hulls full of these tons. There is nothing comparable to any brewery elsewhere in the world, and the whole establishment is a temple of industrial archaeology. Indeed, Rodenbach stands as a historical monument to brewing to this day, and their beers remain benchmarks within the Flemish Red-Brown style category. If you're still here, let's start talking about the beer itself, now that the little history lesson is over. Rodenbach Red Tripel. Combining two classic Belgian styles, Rodenbach Red Tripel blends a traditional Belgian triple with a Flemish Red-Brown Ale that's been aged for 2 years inside of 4,000-gallon oak foder casks. Created in celebration of Rodenbach's 200th anniversary in 2021, this exceptional beer offers classic Rodenbach sour ale character while accentuating the best elements of both the underlying classic styles. Lots to appreciate about this beer. I hope this beer isn't super carbonated, because triples, I know some people call them tripels, but I just say triple. Triples seem to be overcarbonated for my palate. Rodenbach Red Tripel certainly lives up to its name, pouring a striking reddish hue heading into burgundy, almost like berry juice, with an ultimately vinous look capped off by white foam. So let's get it into the glass here, and then we can look at it and talk about the nose and everything else. This has this crown and cap here, the crown and cage, cage and cork. And the cork looks like it's a composite cork. Feels like a composite cork. Feels really tight. Hopefully I can do this without shooting a hole in the wall and making a mess. Put the paperwork aside in case it blows up everywhere. Slowly get this out. A little bit of gun smoke there. Nothing crazy on the cork. Oh, that smells really sour. That cork smells super, super sour. So striking reddish hue into burgundy, almost like berry juice. No way. That's not what I think of berry juice. I mean, it does have like a reddish hue. It is burgundy. But that definitely does not look like berry juice to me. On the nose, this bold, fruity. On the nose, this is bold, fruity, with big notes of sour Luxardo cherries and underripe stone fruits, riding over top and grasping our attention straight out of the gate. It just smells sour. It's making my mouth water, but it's just got that like Belgian-y sour smell. Yeast-driven phenolic spice notes follow, not as strong as with most pure triples, but quite noticeable nonetheless, especially after a good swirl. As core aspects of both the Tripel and the Flemish Red Ale shine through, bringing loads of pepper and clove from the former and no lack of plush red fruits, berry-like tartness, and wisps of balsamic via the latter. No, it just smells sour, like that oaky, sour kind of smell. We found lots of toasty oak. Like I just said, oak. And the brewery's notes of apricot, caramel, pastry, and white burgundy. I don't know what white burgundy smells like, so I don't know there. No way there's caramel or pastry or apricot. For aromatics were particularly on point. I disagree. A very generous, engaging nose with notes of fresh baked bread lurking below as a foundational element. Hashtag dip your beak in it. Again, I know my nose isn't the best. A lot of allergy problems over the years and things. But I think these people just make up crazy nonsense just to describe these beers. I don't get any of that. It's just got that oaky sourness to it. It is making my mouth water though. So there's a medium full mouthful here, emphasizing red fruits, berries, and nice balance of subtle tartness, peppery phenolics, and some residual malty sweetness. Let's find out. Cheers, everybody. Dark fruits, raisin, oaky, drying. Not as sour or tart as I expected. In fact, the sweet sour interplay is impressively realized as the beer's tart, lactic, and acidic character, whose intensity is definitely softer in this blend compared to Rodenbach's pure 2-year aged sour beers like Vintage or Caractère Rouge. I might have had that one. Finds a delicious foil in the sweeter, toasty bread character at the beer's core. Maybe some dark breads in there. We found significant fruit leather, I don't know. Caramelization, yeah, and rounded oak barrel character contributed to Flemish Red. Yeah, there's some rounded oak barrel character. The Belgian Tripel part provides inviting honeyed maltiness. Yeah, I would say that. A crisp pop of mineral bitterness. Yeah, actually, that's there. A nice mix of peppery and clove yeast notes that work great. I don't pick up that. With the vanilla and almond of the oak cask contribution. I don't pick up that at all. Very engaging, restrained sweetness throughout. Yeah. This offers up a deft blend of two exceptional beers. So, as far as aging goes, it says most Flemish Red-Brown sour beers are well known for being quite long-lived. And though Rodenbach's Red Tripel is a hybrid blend, it should be sturdy enough for considerable time in the cellar. I said this is the 2025 Rare Beer Club box. Supposedly, this says it was brewed in 2021. Again, I don't get a lot of these things out of this beer. Dark fruits, maybe some cherry. Oakiness. It's not as sour as I expected, but it's also not like very effervescent. It's just kind of there. I mean, it is tasty. It's a good beer. I just don't know if it's worthy of the Rare Beer Club kind of beer. I do get some dark fruits again, some nice sweetness, some breadiness. It's a tasty beer. I mean, overall, I would give it a horns up. But I don't think this is anything special. I'm sure if you made this far in the video, some of you people are going to give me a lot of hell for saying it, but I just don't think it's a very special beer. It's just kind of there. I expected a lot more out of this beer, and it's all right. Would I drink it again? Yeah. If somebody crazily handed it to me at a party, yeah, of course I would like it. I've had much better Rodenbach beers. So overall, it's just like, okay, it's a horns up. I mean, it's nothing crazy. If you made it this far in the video, did I get this wrong? Did I just age this too long? Am I just an imbecile and don't appreciate the flavors of this beer? Let me know down below in the comments. Thank you all for watching. I really appreciate it. And as always, embrace the adventure.